How y'all going? Dara here. Just looking for ways to amuse myself in this slightly odd time that we find ourselves in. I'm staying in a lot more. I'm trying to physically distance, definitely not socially distance. I'm trying to stay in touch with people as best I can online and sometimes face to face. But one thing I'm doing is reading a lot and discovering or rediscovering um, poems that I am into, that I'm really interested in. Um, so I thought I'd just record a few videos and read a few of these poems. This video, I'm going to give you two. The first one is not mine. The second one will be one of my own. And the first one, I just came across it this morning. I've got this book of Emily Dickinson's poetry. It's, her collected works. I'm not, hugely familiar with her, but I'm just dipping in. And this particular poem, it's about grief. Um, I'll read it. I'll tell you why I think it's relevant and interesting in this moment afterwards, once we've had a listen. So here we go. I measure every grief I meet with analytic eyes. I wonder if it weighs like mine or has an easier size. I wonder if they bore it long or did it just begin. I could not tell the date of mine. It feels so old a pain. I wonder if it hurts to live and if they have to try, and whether, could they choose between, they would not rather die. I wonder if, when years have piled some thousands on the cause of early hurt, if such a lapse could give them any pause, or would they go on aching still through centuries above, enlightened to a larger pain by contrast with the love. The grieved are many, I am told. The reason deeper lies. Death is but one and comes but once, and only nails the eyes. There's grief of want and grief of cold, a sort they call despair. There's banishment from native eyes in sight of native air. And though I may not guess the kind correctly, yet to me a piercing comfort it affords in passing Calvary to note the fashions of the cross of those that stand alone, still fascinated to presume that some are like my own. It's a beautiful poem. Dickinson, she uses heavy form, it's rhyme, it's pretty strict meter. She works around that. She breaks it for herself, but it invites this real cleverness of expression and how she puts words together. And I love it. I think it's awesome. Um, the thing I like about this poem in particular is she starts out with this recognition of grief that she's feeling in herself, and eventually she dissects that and what it means for herself. But eventually she starts looking around and looking at other humans and going, "Shit, they've got grief too," and she doesn't know whether they're the same griefs or whether they've been experienced for a very long time, like they have been in her case, or whether they're more recent or whatever. But she still uses that as a reflection of recognition of going, "Hang on a second, I'm feeling this, you're feeling this," and there's almost a sense of consolation in the poem just by knowing that other people are feeling something akin to what she's feeling, if not exactly that. And I like this idea as well. We've had a very grief-stricken period here in Australia. Obviously, we had the bushfires, and there was the sense of an ending, of a way of being during that period. We lost land, we lost lives, we lost hope at times, and there was a real sense of grieving for the way things used to be, and a sense that the world had changed, and all of the loss that was in that made itself known. And we're being asked to go through that all over again now with the COVID-19 situation. where this sense that, oh, the way the world was has kind of stopped for now. We've lost that. We've lost freedom. We've lost capacity to move around. We may lose lives again. We might lose health. All of that stuff. There's definitely a grieving process happening here right now. So I think that poem speaks to it. I think it's very easy to get wrapped up in your own feelings, your own grief around the situation, and while that's entirely valid, and it's perfectly sensible to feel a lot of these feelings, we're all in this together, and that gives me some solace personally. Okay, so that was a poem that I'm finding fun at the moment. I'm going to give you one of my own as well. I wrote this probably about maybe about 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, actually. And it was when this current crisis was all kicking off, and I was trying to make a bit of sense of it, and I was just hating the bad news. And I went for a swim and just got under the water, and it felt very healing in that moment. So here it is. It's called An Afternoon Swim at Gordon's Bay During the Time of Plague. 1. The sun's influence extends past its corona beyond the solar system until it meets empty space. There its effect wanes in a thin mire of cosmic turbulence. This shock of termination is the heliopause. The universe is outside. The solar system is inside. The line is blurry, but finite. Each side leaks into the other. Information crosses like viruses through cell boundaries or star-seeking voyagers. Damage stays at the edges. Nobody on Earth cares that much. 2. At Gordon's Bay this afternoon, the waves chop at the sky, keeping bad news from the ocean floor. I came down here to baptize myself. The end times have come. I need to be saved. Autumn air has resumed summer's hostilities. Smoke worried us. Now plagues infect collective mental spaces. It is still not safe to breathe or think or even wipe your arse. My head goes underneath. The ocean reminds me there is a world outside and a world inside, and I am the bobbing pause in between. The seaweed below synchronize themselves in a carefree automatic display, fronds uplifted, reaching in rapture. The fish are unafraid of dying. Nobody has told them that they need to worry. Rocks are not rocked by any word, and for a moment, underwater, I am the right side of myself, cured before I'm ill. Wiser for not knowing anything. Thank you for indulging me, these readings. I'm going to try and, put a few more of these out in the coming days. Like I say, I need to keep my own creative juices flowing, but I recommend that you do too, in whatever way that shows up for you. I've got a bit more time on my hands because I'm not commuting. I'm at home more often than I was, so hopefully I'll be able to punctuate it with this sort of thing. So wishing you all a lovely weekend. Hope you stay safe, stay well, stay indoors, do isolate yourself, even if you think it's a bit overkill. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen, but sending you all love. Thank you. Bye.